Well, the score didn't really show it, but the Steelers got dominated by the Saints today. Big Ben looked terrible, Le'Veon Bell played well, and the defense just terrible.
Hopefully Rob Rossi approves of our analysis.
Bleep you, Rossi.
Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to our Week 13 Steelers recap. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost at home to the New Orleans Saints 35-32. I am your host, Jim Sella. I'm in studio today with Jay Dash and Big Easy. Thanks for tuning in to this, I don't know, what do you want to call it, episode of The Spread? Sad?
Disappointing.
Disappointing. Believe it. How you feeling, Easy?
What an intense game, though, huh? 35-32.
Yeah.
Tight.
Oh, wow. You know, if Sweesom wouldn't missed a field goal, we would have tied the game, and everybody's going to say that, and it's just garbage. The Pittsburgh Steelers were garbage. They were down 35-16 until the last two drives. The Saints weren't even playing defense, really, at that point. They knew we weren't going to come back and win. You just stay back and don't let any big plays go by.
Yeah, we actually made it 35-24 with 2:34 left, so it was over at 35-16.
You're right. They tried that terrible onside kick. It went out of bounds. They forced a 3-and-out. Might have been their only 3-and-out the whole game.
I thought our strength was the offense. Well, so what happened? What happened to it?
I don't know. Our offense is dominated at home. Big Ben's been dominant at home. What did he have, Dash? 18 touchdowns and 1 interception so far this year?
Coming into the game.
Yeah. Two TDs
rating.
and 2 INTs today. The 2 TDs, like we said, came in garbage time, so they don't even really count unless you just look at the paper. They just got outplayed in every way. Even the Saints' defense outplayed our defense, and that shouldn't happen.
Well, one thing that couldn't happen in this game is how it started. We got 6 points, but we should have had at least a touchdown on one of those 2 drives there.
You can't kick field goals against Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints.
So, Roethlisberger, where are you at?
He had a terrible game.
Yeah, I never seen a guy have over 400 yards passing and look terrible all game.
Are you hurt? Did you mess your wrist up? Or
Yeah,
what?
his hand may be hurt. Even so, if it's that bad that you're going to cost your team the game, you got to be a man and say, take me out and let Gronkowski play. And I know no pro player would ever really do that, but then Mike Tomlin's got to be a coach and say, hey, if you're throwing the ball all over the place and not even getting it anywhere near our receivers, you got to get them out of it.
It's funny, too. It's almost as laughable. Like, I seen 2 laughable in that Pitt game yesterday. There was 2 players, like, screaming and fighting with each other, you know, and it was laughable. And, like, Roethlisberger, he hurts his wrist. He starts handing the ball off with his left arm, you know what I mean?
Right.
Could have fumbled it away. Could have did anything. I mean, 8 straight run plays, and let's hand it off with your left hand. I mean, I don't know. That was just goofy.
If you can't even hand the ball off with the hand you're supposed to, you shouldn't be throwing it.
Did he need to do that? If he hurt his wrist right there, does he need to stay in the game and hand the ball off 8 times with his left hand or whatever he did? That was goofy. But he did it well. I swear.
Yeah,
it was so goofy, but
the one player on our offense that didn't look bad,
Le'Veon Bell.
He's a beast.
159 yards receiving.
You think he knew that first time when they called a run play, he was going to get it left-handed from Roethlisberger? I don't think he did. But it looked seamless.
I don't know. I didn't see that play. I was at work until about midway through the second quarter. Le'Veon Bell, like you said, he killed it. 21 rushes, 95 yards, and a TD. 8 catches, 159 yards. He is the 8th running back to rush for 1,000 yards in a season in Steeler history, and the first one since 2010. Easy. Do you know who that was?
Willie Parker.
You're dead wrong.
Try again.
Oh, were you your boy Rashard?
Yeah.
Rashard Mendenhall. One of the worst first-round picks the Steelers have had in our lifetime.
And he tried to hump Ben Roethlisberger one game.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. What a weirdo. Antonio Brown carried on the streak. Where's Johnny Parlay's sound effect?
That's 28 games in a row now.
Ooh, fake records. He could start his own record label when he's done and call it Fake Records.
Le'Veon Bell had 159 yards receiving?
Yeah, man, that's what I just said. 8 catches, 159 yards.
Oh, I don't listen to you, but Jesus.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me.
You know what? Yeah. And they still can't beat a weak football team that plays on the road and is garbage and has lost 3 straight. And they still can't beat a football team.
They were 6.
So what is it then?
They were 6 for 14 on 3rd down.
It's not getting 7 in like the first 5 minutes. I'm sorry.
Ben was inconsistent the whole game. They didn't get 7 on either one of those first 2 trips into the red zone. The defense let New Orleans.
Whose fault is that then?
I put it on Ben this week because he looked bad. He got to be the leader of the team. Both of those picks he threw came at bad times, really, because the one turned into 7 points for New Orleans real quick. That was the second pick. And the first pick, they were driving. That could have been at least 3 points right there, and there's a 35-35 score.
Well, I'm going to give you both sides of the story, and then I'm going to tell you what I think caused us to lose, and then you can degrade me after that. Is that okay here?
Go ahead.
Okay. The defense let New Orleans score on 5 of 6 possessions. Drew Brees threw 5 touchdown passes, and he didn't even target Jimmy Graham the whole game. They marched up and down the field. We couldn't stop him. Mark Ingram, what did he have rushing?
What do you mean 5 of 6 possessions? The defense looked good in the first quarter.
Yeah. Ingram rushed for 23. You're supposed to let me finish before you degrade me. Ingram rushed 23 times for 122 yards. They were just terrible all around. But then Ben Roethlisberger was just garbage. And when you go 6 for 14 on third down, Ben throws the ball all over the lot. 435 yards don't mean anything to me. They all came in the last two drives, which were garbage time. The 2 touchdowns were garbage time. He had like a 43 quarterback rating at one point midway through the fourth quarter.
435 yards passing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all the stats make it look like he had an okay game, but to me, you got to put it on Ben. You got to put it on his shoulders, man.
I didn't even watch the last 6 minutes of the game. 6.5 minutes. I didn't even watch it. I was on that red zone.
It was depressing.
But
see,
that's the sad thing about it.
If you remember, my key to the game was at least stop Mark Ingram, and they didn't do that. Actually, the defense looked really good in the first quarter. They didn't even let up any points, and they were stopping Ingram. But in the second quarter on New Orleans' first drive, Ingram broke a 20-yard run and a 12-yard run, and right from that point, it was all downhill for the Steelers' defense. They really did nothing all game. I think they had, one sack?
Yeah, one sack.
It was that drive, too, where they just ran it 5 times or a couple times, and they were running right down the field.
BT Ellen was not BT Ellen this week. He was BT garbage. All the defensive backs looked terrible. Troy was almost non-existent. I didn't even think one time
knocked himself out again for the 30th time.
Well, like we said, the Steelers' defense is prone to letting up at least one big play a game, and we said Kenny Stills would be the guy to do that.
Yeah.
And he was. 5 catches, 162 yards, and a touchdown. But Drew Brees spread it around. He had 5 touchdowns, and nobody caught more than 1. 5 different players scored a touchdown.
Did Jimmy Graham catch a touchdown?
Jimmy Graham didn't catch a pass.
Didn't even catch a pass.
He didn't have one thrown to him.
So what is he hurt, or what was that all about? I'd like to know what the truth behind that, why he didn't catch a pass.
Well, you were the one that told us your sources
he was the number
said
one.
He was hurt, right? He was about 85%.
Yeah, but still, sources said that he was ready to play. I mean, when I got the text this morning about game time, he said they was ready to go.
Maybe he tried it and just couldn't go. I mean, sometimes you feel good, and then you go out there against real action. When you're warming up, your teammate's not going to bowl you over to really test your injury.
How do the fantasy experts have him as the number 1 tight end?
Because Jimmy Graham's a beast, and even at 80%, he's
Yeah,
still
I
better
had
than
him number
everybody
one this
except
week.
Gronkowski, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, that was some miscalculation. I don't know, but there's something else had to be. Something else is.
He could have tweaked the injury in the game.
Were you watching me? And the Steelers did a great job of covering him. He just couldn't get open. It was pretty surprising to me. But
so how do
they got too many weapons. It was just too much for him.
Graham's not a physical player, and he's not a good blocker. So if he's not being effective in the passing game, and we're coming at Brees hard with a lot of blitzes, which we didn't get to him a lot, but that's probably because they didn't play Jimmy Graham, and they let the tight end play who was actually good at blocking. Because if Graham would have been in there, it would have been kind of a revolving door right past him.
Okay, so your key to the game was stop Jimmy Graham, and they did it. But it didn't help. It didn't work out for us.
I mean, it helped, but it didn't work.
Yeah, exactly. And easy. Your key to the game was keep pressure off of Ben, correct? And they did that.
1 sack.
And it didn't help. So my key to the game, it didn't happen, and maybe that's why I don't think that.
So Todd Haley then.
Well, Big Ben didn't happen, and that's the big reason why the Steelers didn't win.
Yeah, simple as that.
I mean, to me, it's basically that simple. The team goes as Ben goes. Bell helps. Bell's great. Bell's one of the best backs in the league, maybe the best back in the AFC. When your quarterback is as bad as Ben was today.
Why didn't they get 7 in the very beginning on them first 2 drives? Play calling. I think of that more. That's more play calling than Ben. the first 2 drives of the game.
Well, really, between those 2 drives, they ran 20 plays. They put some decent drives together, but New Orleans defense just did a good job of not breaking and holding them to 3 points, and that's something we can't have against a good offense like the Saints have. You just can't end up getting 3 points like that.
If you get in the red zone against the Saints, you got to punch it in because you know when they're in the red zone, they're going to probably punch it in 80% of the time, and you're going to be screwed.
I don't even think we made it to the red zone in those 2 field goals, though.
I could have just come up with a couple better plays, though. I don't know. It seemed to me like in the very beginning, some of that play calling was whacked out.
The Steelers just didn't look like they wanted it the whole game to me. I don't know. They were kind of walking around with their hands on their hips, their heads down. There was no fire.
It was a beautiful day. It was 60 degrees.
Coming off
November
a bye
30th.
week, you should be well rested. You should be ready to go.
Fans were screaming, ready to go.
The division is rated in the palm of your hands if you can win a couple games, and then they go out and put up this terrible, awful performance.
And that's the sad thing about it. If they come out and play good and lose, so be it. I mean, they're going up against the second best offense in the league, and we don't have the best defense or whatever. But it just seemed like, we didn't get 7 when we needed to. We didn't do that, and you lose.
Yeah, they didn't do a lot. The only thing they did well today,
back, you fell off.
The offensive line played well.
You might as well took another week off.
And if you're going to pick a player of the game for the Steelers, I'm just going to give it to the O-line because Bell had a good day running. He was Archer was the only other running back to touch the ball. He had 1 carry. Ben ran it, I think, 1 or 2 times.
I didn't even see him.
Literally.
Bell is definitely going to have to be able to handle a strong workload going down the stretch because it doesn't look like we're going to be giving the ball to anybody but him.
Was Josh Harris even active?
I don't even think. I'm not sure on that, though.
I don't know, but co-player of the game, James Harrison, I see him out there still working hard.
Well, this is a terrible note for Steeler fans. Brett Kiesel is out for the rest of the year with a triceps injury. I'm pretty sure it is the same injury that ended Aaron Smith's career. And at Brett Kiesel's age, it doesn't really look too well for him. I mean, he was probably going to be his last year anyway. The Steelers waited till partway through the season to even sign him.
Now, does he cut the beard off every year? Does he do a beard shave every year for charity?
That beard thing for charity, and they shave it off. Oh, yeah.
All right, well, the commentator today said he's been growing that beard for 14 years.
It was probably Donovan McNabb because thank you for reminding me of this. Donovan McNabb, you are the worst commentator in the history of pro sports. I have never heard such terrible analysis to a game. I may not be the best in the world. I may not even be better than anybody in the world. I know I'm better than you. You're absolute garbage. I hope you listen to this show and hear me rip on you because you're the worst. Bleep you.
And you lose every NFC championship
Yeah,
possible.
You were a terrible quarterback. You kept sitting there critiquing Ben like you knew what you were talking about. He's got 2 Super Bowls. You couldn't even get to one. That was it. And
I didn't think
lost.
Donovan, you did okay.
No, he did terrible.
Whatever, Donovan.
You don't even know what you're talking about. You're on drugs or something.
He don't
right
do
now.
it. But he don't do it every day.
Easy, you were talking about Harrison having a good game. Worlds had a pretty good game too. He had 10 tackles.
I wouldn't say good game. I liked his effort. He has nothing on paper. What does he have on paper?
Well, he had 7. He was second on a team with 7 tackles.
Very early in the game, they finally called the O-line for holding him because they hold him every game. He finally got a holding call. And earlier, it was in that first quarter. I mean, they were real tight in that first quarter. They were stunting with Harrison, and Kiesel was getting through because of Harrison, because of him moving around in that first quarter. And then it kind of fell off after that. But I had my eye on him. It just looked like he was working hard, and I didn't expect that from that dude at all.
Speaking of penalties, the Saints had 11 penalties for 77 yards, and Pittsburgh only had 5 for 28. So they won in that facet of the game. And they won in time of possession, too. They held the ball for just about 34 minutes compared to 26 for the Saints. And it's like that every week. Pittsburgh does a great job of controlling the ball. They're just...
It means nothing anymore.
Not doing enough. Yeah, well, you got to get the ball in the end zone, in the red zone. That's
end zone in the red zone. Haley, you heard me.
Snoop Dogg should make a rap song called End Zone in the Red Zone.
The best thing is Baltimore lost. Cleveland lost. Johnny Manziel come in. He threw a touchdown. No, he ran for a touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah, he ran for a touchdown. Had 2 nice passes.
Good for you, Johnny. Okay. Sit on the bench and watch what happens in the NFL and then maybe do something. Good for you. But everyone else lost but Cincy. We still play them twice. Stay up, Yins.
The Bengals lead the division at 8-3-1, and then Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland were all tied for second and last at 7-5.
Baltimore has the tiebreaker.
Yes.
Cincinnati's 4-1-1 at home. The rest of us are 4-2 at home.
And
Cincinnati's
Cleveland's got the
4-2 on the road. The rest of us are 3-3 on the road. It's close. Our conference record's only Our conference record's 6-3, which is the best in the division. So that's good.
San Diego, what a great comeback win in Baltimore. That was unbelievable. It's going to be tough. San Diego playing tough football.
The records.
What happens tonight? Sorry, but
No,
what happens tonight with Denver and KC is big. I mean, we want Denver to win tonight, big, I guess, huh?
Yes.
We want Denver to stay up. We need to knock KC off because then we get them again. So we want Denver tonight.
The records to me don't even matter right now. We knew that the Steelers weren't as good offensively on the road, and we wanted them to take a step up in that area. But now they're not even playing good at home offensively, so that's worrisome to me. The offense just doesn't look good right now. Yeah, they put up 32 points or whatever, but it was garbage.
70 Ben, 30 Haley, or is it?
Ben played terrible today. All season long, Ben's been playing well, so I can't blame him for much of anything. But
How
tonight,
do you throw
it was
6 touchdowns?
Anytime you lose and the offense looks bad, Haley has something to do with it.
Oh yeah, Haley had all. No, I don't want to say all.
I liked your hat,
awful.
Mike. I like that gold Steeler fitted. I like that a lot.
Pittsburgh's going into Cincinnati this week. It's going to be a tough game. If the Steelers lose that game, they will not win the division. I'll guarantee you that. They still got a shot at the playoffs as a wild card. But there's no way if they lose either game to Cincinnati, they're going to win the division because Cincinnati only has 3 losses, and that tie will always make their record be better. So
this is a must-win.
Yeah, it's a playoff game.
Cincinnati is a must-win.
It's a big game.
You got Buffalo, okay? You got Buffalo sitting there still. So
there's a bunch of teams: Buffalo, Cleveland,
Houston's at 6-6. Man, they're nipping at the heels.
Today's loss really hurt because now you have to win them all.
Yeah, we do have to win them all because I predicted us to go 11-5, and I don't want to be wrong. I don't want Dash to win at 10-6 either. So they either need to go 11-5 and win the division, or go 9-7 and not even get it.
Stay up,
not even make the playoffs. He'd rather see the Steelers go 9-7 and miss the playoffs than 10-6.
I can't really say that for real, but it would just be nice if you weren't right. I just want to see the Steelers in the playoffs. I miss it so bad. Playoff football is the best.
Buffalo.
It's been years, 3 years now? Going on 4?
No, it was 2 years.
Yeah, 3 years
ago.
Well,
you know how
I
feel about that.
So going on 4 years ago, if we miss
a Pirate playoff game eases my Steeler.
Pirates,
a Pirate playoff game
right
eases
now.
my non-Steeler playoff game tension very nicely.
We got a long time until that happens, though.
Yeah, it's going to be another 20 years.
Get out of here.
Want to thank fans for stopping in and listening to the spread. Thanks, Dash and Easy.
Whatever.
You guys always have fun here. I always have fun with you. You guys can follow us on Twitter.
Speak for yourself.
Twitter, bet_the_spread. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or like us or whatever it is. I don't even know how to use Facebook, quite honestly. But whatever you do, do it.
Do you.